capacity and investments in additional production in the USA, and then about 6 billion related to green steel and also supply chain and suppliers, etc. And then yet another 6 billion for new technologies like Boston Dynamics, like Emotional, like some agreements to produce some chips and even EV infrastructure.
Wow. I know you have a new plant in Savannah, Georgia, and you have one in Alabama. You're doing a lot of production there? I mean, moving stuff there?
I mean, it is interesting, the story of this plant, because actually this was decided and announced during the first Trump administration. And then it came to fruition just also a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And it is in Savannah, Georgia. It is a big complex on 3,000 acres with an assembly plant, which is going to produce about 300,000 cars in phase one, which we have already started, and up to 500,000 in phase two, which I actually announced the same day as we were announcing the phase one. It's brought about 40,000 employees to the state, which adds to the 570,000 direct and indirect employees that we have in the country.
These are American employees.
It is
570,000.
Yeah, 570,000 is the current number of direct and indirect employees that we have by the group. And then with the new $21 billion investment that we have announced, we're going to bring another 100,000 extra. 14,000 directly into the different projects, and then everybody else direct and indirect.
Now, this was happening before the tariffs. You were already making a move. You're a Korean company. How does it affect the industry, do you think? This is significant, 25% tariff.
Well, it is definitely a challenge, without a doubt, right? So, but let me tell you that when we think about strategic investments, we are not thinking in incentives, we are not thinking in tariffs, we're thinking in which is the most important market and where we should invest. And then we knew already for a number of years that the USA not only was the most important market for us, but even more important in the future. I actually learned about the tariffs. Well, we thought, okay, maybe it was not a bad decision to invest, because definitely all these cars that we're going to produce here, they're not going to be subject to tariffs.
Electric vehicles. We've seen all kinds of studies about how they're up, how they're down. Where do you see the future of EVs? You do hybrids. I mean, you have hybrids.
Well, let me tell you first that we are the second seller of EV vehicles in America, only after Tesla. And then the reason is being that I think we've come up with good designs, good technology, with range, affordability in the market. We introduced the Ioniq brand. And then we've seen a tremendous growth over the last few years. Still, these days, we continue to grow on EVs. So we think that in the long term, this technology is going to stay. But we have also seen that it's taking a little longer for this technology to really become the largest in America.
You have Hyundai, and then which falls in your company as well, and you see a lot of upward mobility, right? I mean, as far as the company, it's already third overall.
Well, you're exactly right. So we are the third largest global OEM, and then I think the capability of the company to be adjusting very fast, we call it in the company in Korean pali pali, and also planning ahead very fast, doing the miri, so we call it the PM squared, pali pali miri. I think this has helped the company under the leadership of our executive chair, Mr. Chung, to really step up when challenges are present. And then that's what we showed during the COVID-19. And now when we get the tariffs, well, we believe localization is the solution, investing in the country is the solution. And then we need to work, of course, to be more competitive in terms of cost.
I know your executive chairman knows.
You can imagine, I mean, I cannot just disclose the discussions that are taking place. I know that South Korea is probably the best ally to the United States. So for many, many years, more than 70 years of relationship between both countries. We come out of the very nice free trade agreement, and then we know that we are not the only ones who are investing in the country, and we